Peaks update.
It's the next to the last episode, and the plot's taking quite a twist. Be on the lookout for romance.
Come on, lover boy, Leo's waiting.
And ways to fix James' bike.
Say goodbye, James.
Goodbye, James.
Twin Peaks, Thursday.
Hello, handsome.
Revolutionary new
Fried cherry.
cliffhanger night for the revolutionary new series Twin Peaks. After 7 chilling weeks, we were finally going to find out who killed Laura Palmer.
You're under arrest. Murder of Laura Palmer.
But the producers had something else in mind. Angry? You're not alone.
From ABC News, with anchors Diane Sawyer in New York, Sam Donaldson in Washington, Chief Correspondent Chris Wallace, Judd Rose, Jay Shadler, and Karen Burns. This is Prime Time.
Find out.
This week at this time, Soviet
From New York continues.
This time last night, about 11.5 million Americans were watching the show you're seeing now. The season finale of Twin Peaks, the aggressively bizarre new ABC series. For anyone who doesn't know, it's an offbeat murder mystery set in a logging town in the Pacific Northwest. The series opened with the murder of 17-year-old Laura Palmer. Who comes to solve the murder? The pie-loving FBI agent Dale Cooper, who's addicted to his dictaphone.
Diane, if you ever get up this way, that cherry pie is worth a stop.
For all those patient viewers, 7 weeks of sorting out suspects and sticking with the show was going to pay off last night in the season's big finale.
Oh, God, hurt.
So all across the country, the faithful and the curious planted themselves in front of the television. But today, many of those people are ready for a fight. Judd Rose gets into the Twin Peaks spirit, way into the spirit.
Diane, Sam, it's May 24th, a Thursday. It's chilly outside, a little overcast. I'm sitting at my favorite table at the diner having dinner. It's a reporter's dream. Donuts, cherry pie, hot coffee. Damn good coffee. Now take this down. There's a strange new TV show. Every time it's on, people sit in front of their sets like logs. They record every episode on their VCRs. And then the next day at work, that's all they talk about. Diane, Sam, it's very mysterious.
She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
The body of Laura Palmer was just the first strange thing to surface. We've seen crying cops, singing Scandinavians, and babbling birds. Then there's the kid who howls like a wolf, and the lady who talks to her log.
One day, my log will have something to say about this.
What do we make of the dead girl's dear old dad? Strange stuff for network TV, but Twin Peaks has also been perhaps the most hypnotic whodunit to ever hit the home screen. 7 weeks to figure out who killed Laura Palmer, and last night was the payoff. All across the country, they gathered in groups, devoted peekies glued to the tube to see if they'd correctly cracked all those cryptic clues.
Who killed Laura Palmer?
The receptionist.
I think it's Leland. I think it might have been Audrey.
I think the butler did it.
The tension was so thick, you could hear the jelly dripping out of a donut. And then...
Well, Agent Cooper's a pretty cool guy. It's kind of a bummer that he got shot.
But the biggest bummer, they still never told us who done it.
I'm angry. I feel used.
I feel like we've been kind of gypped. I mean, here we were going through all these weeks hanging on for this, you know, and they don't tell you anything.
Are you quite finished?
Now, it may seem unfair, but Twin Peaks didn't become a pop phenomenon by following the rules. This must be where pies go when they die. Diane, Sam, you'll have to try some if you ever get up this way. Now, make a note of this. Twin Peaks has definitely brought something different to television. For example, it taught us that it can be intriguing and even eerie to focus on inanimate objects that have absolutely nothing to do with anything. You won't see that on Doogie Howser. This is TV for the 90s, seductive and surreal. They're still talking about this dream sequence.
I've got good news. That the music is going to come back in style.
They got that eerie sound by having the dwarf talk backwards and then playing the tape forwards.
As if talking backward is so difficult or so clever. With practice, anybody can do it, but it was all America talked about for weeks. Donuts and deer heads, dwarf dreams and plastic wrap prom queens. What does it all mean?
She's 17 years old and she's having an affair with Bobby, Laura's boyfriend.
Oh, sure, they try. But with more weird plot twists than the Today Show, even the most faithful viewers sometimes complain they just don't get it. Well, it's really very simple. Laura Palmer was dating Bobby, the quarterback, but she was secretly seeing James, the sensitive biker, who is now in love with Donna. James's uncle is having an affair with Norma, whose estranged husband killed the owner of the lumber mill, whose widow Josie dates the sheriff, Harry S. Truman, or is she seeing Norma's husband? Well, anyway, Josie's in cahoots with a businessman who's working with Laura's father, who killed the bartender who was dealing drugs with a wife-beating trucker. Well, you get the idea.
I wanted the answer. I was promised the answer. Where's the answer?
They just left us hanging for, I guess, for next season. I don't know.
Of course, it's not the first time. There was that other big TV whodunit on Dallas. We had to wait a whole summer for the answer to that one.
It was you, Kristen, who shot JR.
But somehow we expected better of Twin Peaks. The really good shows don't seduce and abandon you like that. Remember The Fugitive? We hung in there with him all those seasons and finally got to see him catch the one-armed man. And after they messed up Moonlighting, we didn't have to tell off Dave and Maddie. In the last episode, the producers did it for us.
But can you really blame the audience? A case of poison ivy's more fun than watching you two lately.
Now, Diane, Sam, take all this down. It's not fair to ask the same question week after week and then not answer it. It's a tease, a cheat. There is a theory that the network doesn't want us to know, that they want to keep stringing us along until fall. Well, I don't know about that, but I do know that I have my duty to perform. I happen to have found a copy of the script, and I know the answer. The person who killed Laura Palmer is none other than...
Sure, Judge, sure. A footnote. You may have heard that there was a European version of Twin Peaks. You should know that while it did have a different ending, it was just as mysterious and gave no more insight than Judd Rose into who murdered Laura Palmer. That's it for us. Glad to have you with us. 2020 is in this spot tomorrow night. I'm Diane Sawyer. Good night, Sam.
Good night, Diane. Good night. I'm Sam Donaldson. Join Ted Koppel later tonight for Nightline, and join us again next Thursday night for another edition of Primetime Live.
This has been Prime Time.